So, Dino Riders. Now, Yugen Dynasty can catch them in the season, but
the Omen ban.
They can catch them in the season, but they can't beat them because of the head-to-head record, which means Dino Riders, congratulations, you are coming to Sydney Finals.
So think about the mental mindset of Eanix right now. If they lose 0-2 to Dino Riders, that is going to hurt their confidence, hurt them going into the finals. They don't want that. They want to beat Dino Riders really hard right now because they don't want to go and lose that confidence. Their mindset right now is feeling pretty bad because they're like, how can we lose to a team that we should have beat?
And remember, Dino Riders are at this point guaranteed to be at this Sydney Finals with Eanix. If Dino Riders are fixing their problems, putting things together, they may very well be playing Eanix in the first match, and that would be a scary match if you know you've recently lost to them.
Yeah, that's going to play on your mind. Can't help that.
Elsu did get through this first phase draft alongside Sephora. When forced to choose between the two, Eanix choose Sephora.
I think that's smart because Sleepy plays a very reliable Sephora. Even though we didn't see a lot come out of it, he was always setting up the plays and using the water walls to support his team.
Banned characters Omen threw off the draft phase, if you're wondering how that happened. That was because Eanix really didn't want to see that happen from Zeus again. Zeus plays a lot of good characters in the side game, the side lane, and it will be, this time, a Varus, which is maybe more terrifying than an Omen.
Yeah, I think so, but won't be able to push towers as well as the Omen, but so dominant in that side lane. So if it's on Zeus, I'd be a little fearful. And we saw Yikes, how good Yikes was on this Elsu. Like, Yikes actually played Elsu pretty well.
Yikes is really good Elsu. This looks to be an Aram that would
bottom?
be... That would be, well, the Aram would be an answer to...
any assassins, right.
Any assassins.
Because Hawaii is going to want to play an assassin, and Arm is a good counter. But the key is that, and also denying Aram from Sojin as well, which is pretty smart. But I think Arm would be very smart here, because that actually shuts down everything. Yep, shuts down everything that
Aram, they got 2 snares.
Yeah, 2 snares. That's smart. They're denying the double snare because, you know, Omen and Aram there had a nice ultimate that just locks your opponents down.
We are not hanging around putting a net on the side of Dino Riders. That was locked in straight away.
Pretty easy lock-in. One of the best supports in the game, particularly alongside Varus, particularly alongside Elsu. Combos very well with what you have, is objectively great. Yes, please.
Telenas,
yes.
Banned out.
So far, drafts are looking good for both teams. I do like Sephora. We can potentially see more mage bans targeted by against Sleepy because we know Sleepy plays a really good Liliana. But don't forget, Tulin is still open, you know, and Tulin will give a lot of early game pressure with that Elsu, with that Varus, and with that Annette.
The Liliana will be there against a Telenas during the first cycle of the second phase of bans. Liliana is a target against Sleepy. Telenas would be a target against the side lane to back up this Roxy Aram. And I agree with that because that's probably their best bet. Put ADC hero on a ranged ADC. I'd particularly like to see something like a Morn or a Wisp that has a little bit of mobility as well as a ton of damage.
Yeah, an ADC hero, we've seen him play Violet to great effects. We also seen him play that Crash. So is he going to pull that Crash out, or he's going to go ahead and pull out potentially that range ADC like a Violet? Because I haven't seen ADC. Has he played Morn? Or has he played a Wisp?
I think he's played the Telenas, and that's it in the range sideline.
Carly completes the bans. Why is that?
Once again, because Sleepy's on that team, and Sleepy has, by the way, been looking fantastic. Thanks, Sleepy.
Oh, is this a Greg for real? No, it's not. It's not. They're just trying to get you excited,
Thanks,
TJ.
Sleepy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Sleepy is you know, communicating to you, TJ, through the bans and draft here.
You wait, we'll put Gilder in instead, and that'll just kill TJ right here and now.
Good or mid? Why not?
Zeus has run Gilder in the side lane and looked really good on it. Just bringing it up.
Dino Riders will celebrate that they're going to the finals by throwing this one for you.
He just changed the talent.
The win rate of Gilder's side lane hasn't been the best, unfortunately. I told you, Tulin is going to be picked by the Sleepy here, and we know how aggressive Sleepy can be on this Tulin character.
That Tulin will be very good for Sleepy, and because of the banning that Eanix did, they didn't have very many other options.
I guess against Arm and Roxy.
Oh yeah, no, this actually makes sense. People run the L'Oreal into slow-moving tank characters, of which there are 2 already on Eanix. That gives them a little bit more teamfight potential. I'm not a big fan of L'Oreal, but a player like Sleepy can make me believe.
So we await Lindis, which I always felt was probable, but every time I've said, surely Lindis is going to come in, she doesn't turn up.
Not very good for this draft because they want sustained damage behind a tanky front line. And the Crash doubles down on that tanky frontline element. The Sephiroth is sustained poke long-range damage. So I actually really like this.
Do you need the Crash alongside Roxy and Aram?
I'd like to counter your question with a question. Why would you not want the Crash alongside Roxy and Aram?
The thing is though, into a L'Oreal, that's actually very dangerous. L'Oreal can run circles around those 3 bruiser, tanky type of heroes. Right. I can't really stay on top of her.
No, I understand your fear. You're worried that these tanky characters can't catch up to L'Oreal, who just lays down the circle. But have you considered that Kresh is as big as L'Oreal's AoE damage? She is bigger than anything L'Oreal can do with the ultimate, and as a result, Kresh can zone Sleepy out of his ultimate smite.
But the blinks and the sheer AoE damage he's gonna get, and all those explosions from the blink, the true damage as well. That barrier is not gonna. You know, I don't know if that barrier is gonna help him too much.
This is a good. Sleepy's got to be licking his lips because he does have a really nice matchup in those 3 tanks characters that play relatively poorly into a L'Oreal.
It reminds me of Season 1, TJ, when L'Oreal was meta. Always picked, always played in mid lane.
You miss those days?
I do.
Were they simpler times?
Yeah, now I gotta deal with both of you guys.
I wasn't on the desk then, so he definitely misses that.
Now you have to deal with us.
I'd like to highlight, if I can, as we did see that Zill locked in for the final draft, I'd like to highlight the top lane matchup, which will presumably be Roxy into Varus. And I don't have an opinion on it. I don't think we've seen it yet. But I can see that going either way. Obviously, Varus' argument is the amount of lifesteal at close range. But normally, Roxy does really well into sustained fighters because the wildfire that she leaves behind.
Yep.
So you can win the fight by just remaining in them for long enough that the wildfire gives you an edge.
It does. And then fine when they're low enough and Varus wants to get her bloody kiss up, Asni grabs, lock her in, and then let her eat up all that wildfire damage before she can lifesteal her way and try to run away from you. So it's going to be a very fun matchup to watch. But Varus normally, if played well, could outtrade the Roxy and keep her distance.
There's one more element to this matchup which we should touch on now before we get into the final game of today. Eanix, as I said, they can. Well, it's all right. They've lost 1 here, so they're now currently 10-9. If they win this, and they go 11-9, they will pass GMB.
Wow.
For second place.
Yeah, they want that.
Because GMB are on 10-10 now. Next week, GMB play Yugen Dynasty. So the chances are, if Eanix win this game, they pass GMB today. Next week, GMB have got Yugen Dynasty. That's a match that they're more likely to win. But if Yugen Dynasty can shake off that they're not going to finals and decide to end this season with strength, Eanix can actually be second at finals. There's a few things that have got to go their way. First thing they've got to do is win this over Dino Riders.
That'd be really fun. I'd like to see them have that, but Dino Riders, I think maybe. Don't want to see a world in which that can happen. Already a very aggressive engage. This Sage Golem up for grabs. 80's having to brawl for it. January did get it, but Zeus is diving in. The Bloody Kiss does land, and Sleepy's got first blood.
What a play there. I knew they were in trouble, but when January tried to do it, and Sleepy gets the blue Golem. And that is not a good start for Eanix right now.
Oh. This is actually a lot of damage. Caretaker in trouble. You can already see Sleepy enjoying his draft. Zeus has the lifesteal. Oh, that's good, but Caretaker gets the last word.
What a nice positioning of that Lion Tame coming out there, hitting him once and then twice to secure the kill. And I love how he knows how powerful Arm is against melee, because as you see those 3 lions, they keep hitting enemy heroes. She gets so much sustain from that. So really nice job by Caretaker in that regard. However, Eanix is behind right now, so they have to make sure they regroup and catch up, because the aggression from Dino Riders is taking hold.
I do appreciate that Sleepy ends that with the Sage buff. I call that the return policy. Sure, you took it away, January, but if you die immediately afterwards, well, this store is accepting returns on the buff you took.
Yeah, one thing in terms of that return policy is they need to return the aggro.
There it is, January in trouble, will get taken out. It looks like very well played by Hawaii. They've got January down. Caretaker needs to drop off as 80 himself is still in trouble. Hawaii's very close to the kill, and he'll turn it round. Shoten getting the last blow as Dino Riders pick up 2 on that aggression.
I love what Hawaii did there. He turned level 4, he waited for a gank, he got the gank, he landed all his abilities back, thereby maximizing the damage output of this Zill here. Got a perfect ultimate alone on a January. So much damage, and now like that, they get another kill into 80's hero. And like I said, Dino Riders excels when they are playing this aggressive and they're winning the early game. That is huge for them right now.
Yikes, you're going a bit aggro. It's a little bit far forward, but he doesn't care. Oh my God.
Look at that. Yikes on this Elsu. Impressive plays. And when Dino Riders is playing this, they're playing very confident. They're also on the same page as each other, TJ. They're working together.
Johnny 5 cut out. Oh, wind cuffs into Serpent's embrace. He has to flicker away, and Zeus almost gets him anyway.
Yeah, that was such a close engage. Nice disengage by Johnny 5. They're barely surviving that. But Yikes, just farming up and getting ahead on this Elsu. 1.7k. Keeping up with Sleepy there.
We didn't touch on that. Do you have any idea why this Elsu is being put up in the top line?
Yeah, because he's constantly pushing the lane farm, and I think he's able to, from farming by himself, he's getting all that gold onto him. And one thing that if he pushes his opponents into tower, they actually get less gold when the minions are next to tower. 10% less gold, actually. And it can add up over time.
An easy lane to win. Does mean Varus is down bottom into the Roxy.
Ooh, Caretaker.
Pokes in. A little bit of damage from his Spectral Lions. Now Shozen actually in proper trouble. Will have to play it safe and tries to back off, but the snare lands. Johnny 5 is there for the kill. Sleepy now brawls in, 1v2. This gets dangerous. Tides of life knock it very low, and January will find the final blow. Not even Hawaii can turn the fight. Yikes has to get out of here. He's got the disengage. He'll get to safety, but Dino Riders lose a few in a row, tying up the kill feed for all.
Yeah, that is huge. They're going to get mid tower here. Also, they got to kill Hawaii. He's behind farm on the Lindis, so this is actually not looking good for Dino Riders now. Look at it, even the gold lead as well. And that was, honestly, Caretaker did such a good job with that snare there.
Zeus wants January. Go in. Nice Serpent's Embrace. The damage, the cutoff from the wall. That's very good from Shozen. They can't finish the kill, though. January gets to safety. Shozen tries to chase, even flickering forward, but they can't finish it off. And Yikes is caught out in the snare, meaning there can't be no firm chase. Hawaii, in the meantime, will spend his tornado in a 1v2 with the wind shift to follow, but he can't confirm the kill onto Johnny 5 either, and he may in fact pay for it. Sleepy does go in though, finishing the trade, and narrowly Dino Riders do all right today.
I can't believe January survived that and got out of there. That was insane how that happened. And then Hawaii comes in and almost tries to secure these kills, but doesn't get the kill, which means that Dino Riders was so close to coming back in the game, but they don't, TJ. Look at Yikes. Yikes, he's continuing to farm up, and he's now the most fed in the game. And that is a major threat once he gets his build as Elsu.
I legitimately don't think I know what health bars are anymore. Because I keep thinking that when your health bar runs out, you die. But for Eanix, at least, it's not true.
Yeah, and then one thing I'm really concerned about is January. He is ahead right now. He's the most fed in the game. 3.1k gold ahead of Hawaii. That's not what you want as the Zill into Lindis.
Abyssal Dragon.
Oh, how did that miss?
Yikes! Shoots between the dragon's legs or something.
Yeah. I thought that landed.
I think he was off to the left by a hair.
Wow.
But
That's so unfortunate.
It was perfectly timed too. That is really unfortunate.
Like he says, yikes.
Yikers.
Yikers.
Down in the bot lane, Eanix keep pushing. It looks like this tower could be theirs, but none of a wave for it with Sleepy and Yikes behind tower.
The thing that I'm really worried about is, honestly, Aurum and Roxy, Hawaii is in deep trouble. If he goes in there, he doesn't cast a tornado, and he gets locked down by an Agni Grasp or a snare, he's done. And that's all they need to do.
Hawaii on to Johnny 5. Snare instantly. Tides of life are there, but the Hurricane Wall will break it up, and Johnny 5's very low. The trade's there. January's too far forward. It will be followed through. Hawaii did fall to the tower and January, but they are all right with a 2-for-1 trade.
Yeah, that snare was good, but it was a 2 versus 4, unfortunately. If the whole team was there, it would have gone Eanix's way.
Eanix has been steadily winning this fight down in the bottom lane. He so narrowly comes out on top of damage.
Yeah, and Elsu 1v1ing a Crash. Who would have thought? He had his full Metamorphosis. He used his Execute as well, but not enough to take care of the absolute damage coming out of this Elsu. He has Muramasa.
Looks like...
And he's building some defense here, TJ. That's interesting.
Nice.
Some health.
He's been brawling. He's been playing some melee.
Yeah. Melee Elsu.
And that's fun to see. I always say a good Elsu looks a little bit like a Valheim.
Yeah, but both these teams are neck to neck with each other. They are both hungry for this win here. And Eanix is not going to let Dino Riders take another win off them.
Eanix is setting up so that they can hold this bot lane. Eanix have been consistently pushing in for it. Caretaker now leading the charge for that one because they have the vision. Eanix knows it's here. They've got pretty quick lane clear.
Caretaker's gotta be careful. He has no mana. He just used the Lion Tamer too much here, and he needs it. He needs the mana.
Johnny 5 got knocked down to half HP. Caretaker's reappearance scares them back. The mid lane. In the meanwhile, though, Hitman too far forward. It's an easy pickup for Hawaii.
Yeah, they gotta be careful that picks there.
Snare does land. Zeus is caught out, but he's got so much lifesteal. He does not mind. Caretaker can't finish the kill. January might have been able to, but the stun. Hawaii, he goes for a second. Caretaker's lifesteal is a bit much, but they still get the double.
Yeah, and that is not good. Hawaii is sitting at 6 kills right now. 5.2k gold. He has Apocalypse. This is not what you want, and look at another kill potentially coming here for him, and this is dangerous. They're feeding Zill, and that is not what you want.
Does go down to the tower. 80's Hero clearing the wave here just to hold on, but yeah, Hawaii's getting dangerous. 80's Hero, though, the chase, the flicker. It's perfectly timed for the aquatic leap.
Yeah, and then he dodges the execute as well.
That was so smart.
So sick. So sick. But again, they are feeding Hawaii. They have to group up. They cannot get ganked like this. But Dino Riders is doing such a good job getting these ganks 2, 3 versus 1 versus 2. They're doing a really good job of being aggressive and initiating, taking advantage of these lone champions or heroes under these towers and getting the kills under those towers.
It feels like what they're missing compared to game number 1, though, is the tower pressure of Zeus. They're getting all these kills, but unlike game 1, they're not turning it into reckless abandon with tower takes.
Yeah, and you can see the kills that they're giving over to Hawaii. They're feeding him, and he's not that far behind the Lindis. And this is where he starts to come online, because he's almost going to finish his 3rd tier 3 damage item, and that's when Zill becomes super dangerous. And once he gets full build, he can delete carries with 1 combo, and they got to be really careful with that.
So we'll see if the Zill can carry Dino Riders to victory. They're still a little bit behind on tower takes compared to the last game, but definitely winning the trade. To 80's Hero, you can't tank that much from the tower. Eanix is low enough, though, that January can come here and probably clean up the tower. Sleepy did rotate down to contest that. Johnny 5 and Caretaker are in a little bit more trouble. That was some nice footwork from Johnny 5, Tides of Life as well, but he's well on the run, and there's so much. Caretaker snares out the Zill, but he can't save Johnny 5, and he can't save himself either, as Hawaii just goes through to finish that kill. January does him enough damage, but Zeus gets close range. Oh, he's got a kill anyway. Shows in close range. January can't turn that, no matter how hard he tries.
Man, these fights in Hawaii, I don't know why he got within range.
80's Hero!
Oh, 80's Hero coming to the rescue and getting that kill. Sleepy, he's going to win that fight, so he definitely needs back. You see the slows that Laura is able to apply there. And the more AP she has, the more slows, the more powerful those slows will become. But Hawaii, giving that depth up, has to be careful. But he's doing a really good job of securing so many kills. 8 kills to his name already. They got to be careful. And these rotations from Eanix, it's costing them. I mean, they're getting caught out by themselves. 2 versus 3 versus 4 again, over and over again. If they don't fix that, they're going to lose this game.
And rotation, like you say from Eanix. Hitman.
He gets it.
Nicely done. Eanix has been flip-flopping between these lanes really quickly. It's really fun to see, actually.
Yeah, you can see, look at Varus though. Zeus again in the lead, 8.1k gold. He's the man to watch, but again, even though he's making impact, not as big as impact as Omen. Caretaker, what's going on?
Not much. Why do you ask?
Yeah, he's got to be careful. He's got to save those line tanks. He's got to save them. He's using it too early, and he's got to combo it with his buddies here.
I feel like Hawaii keeps engaging on him, and you can see that actually happening right now, and Caretaker's HP bar is just not budging, but he's found his proper target now. Johnny 5, you've got to run, and he does. Caretaker lands the stairs, stalling up the fight. Now, 80 is pushed back. That was a very good Hurricane Wall, but Metamorphosis will come through. It's slightly out of range, but there is now a crash to the fight. Caretaker falls first, and they don't have the damage. Johnny 5 and January are standing outside this fight, too scared to enter, and it costs them everything.
It did. They needed to enter that fight. For some reason, he was attacking the golem instead and using and not basically contributing to the fight where the Crash had an ultimate. It was so good.
January in trouble. Mid-tower falls. 2 more kills to Dino Riders.
Oh no, this might be game here. The respawn time is pretty high. Hitman's trying to make his way back.
The focus on the tower.
They have a siege minion.
They have one singular minion. Hitman must clear it in order to save the game. 2 seconds on respawns.
That's a big
5 on
wave too.
80's hero. Hitman will be here, tanking the damage. Why? He just focuses. Caretaker, you can't snare. They needed the clear, but he stalls up the fight. 80's hero is here in the front lines. Hitman does fall, but the core itself is being focused down. They've got the wave clear, but it just is not enough because Zeus is just attacking the core to take game number 2 for Dino Riders.
What a game. I can't believe they did it again.